reffing, and the South Africa people or the men gave bedded African animals, which is very interesting. Now we're gonna see the sprint. And if I'm not mistaken, the number 3 from Swiss, Stern, was actually looking at some point at the ref. There was no call being made. So that tells me that he just starts sprinting and then takes approximately a pedal stroke of 5 or 6. Then checks the ref again so that he doesn't spill his energy. While we see number 1 Hook shooting over the goal. Because the time between the matches was a bit shorter than normal. I will now introduce the players to you instead of before the match. But on the left side of the pitch we have South Africa. The team sporting with number 2 Deqing, number 3 Buchen, number 4 Burger, number 5 Hoots, number 7 Hardy, number 8 Marks, number 9 Truby, and the coaches Witten and we. And on the right side of the pitch, with the white buoyancy 8, we have number 1, also the captain, Hope, number 2, Vogeli, number 3, Stern, number 4, Kubeler, number 5, Radak, number 6, Schaup, number 7, Rugi, number 8, Vogeli, and with the coaches Talman and Visluis. Still 0-0, already almost 2 minutes played. While we see, very nicely done between the Swiss players, number 3 and number 1, Stern and Hug. It was a very quick one to throw your pedal like that. Nice passes around, but nicely deflected by the South African man as well. I don't know if you see it, but I really enjoy watching how many colors the coach of the South Africa players is supporting. It's almost every color. You might see him all the way in the left of your pitch. And again deflected by the South African defense. Very nicely done. In theory and on paper, Switzerland should eventually win. If you look at the world ranking so far. But that's some fun information for now, but you will notice that we will use that information less and less during the tournament, because it goes over now and not over the past. But in the past, we are here joined in this pool with Denmark and Hong Kong, China. Denmark is actually ranked 5th, so the best of their pool. Then we have Switzerland, who's ranked 9th. Then we have Hong Kong, China, who is ranked 18th. And South Africa, who is ranked 25th. But we now see a very fast break option for the Swiss. Very nicely done. Passes between Schaup, number 6, and Hug, number 1 from Swiss. It was some quick action on the screen. Well, we hear some Swiss fans here as well. I hope you hear them on the live stream as well, because they're shouting out their lungs. This might sound a bit strange, but luckily I haven't heard the Swiss Alp bells so far, the big cow bells. Because at one point we were in Saint-Omer And one of those bells was really next to the tent where I was sitting to supply you with commentary. And I just couldn't hear myself thinking anymore because of those bells, which is, let's be honest, very awesome for the Swiss team. And in theory, these teams will be very, very tight. And in practice, we see the same. Ooh, far away shot now from Huzhou, because he didn't really have an option to pass anymore. It made it a bit hard on himself. Well, we see another fast break option now for the Swiss. Who is last time scored by Huzhou after receiving the pass from number 5, Radak. Sometimes you'll see during this tournament that actually the pass is a lot harder than the shot and goal at the end. But you need all of those pieces to be in perfect harmony, otherwise you won't be able to find the back of the net. But the South Africa men and the Swiss men have a very similar story to being here, because they actually paid for themselves, which couldn't have been cheap if you think that every person here has brought their own boats, their own paddles, and also their own equipment just to paddle here. And we are here in Deqing, China, about 150 kilometers southwest of Shanghai. See a lot of action here on the right side between number 4 from South Africa and number 5 from Swiss. Really battling to try and get some wiggle room. While far away shot from number 8 from South Africa. Mark is being stopped by the goalie, but now again a lot of pressure from the Burger captain. That really ensured that the Swiss has had no option in using that fast break that was so effective just now. Fake throw, passes to the middle, trying to score, and again finds the back of the net. This time it was number 3, Stern. Both of the teams have a very similar average age. 24 for the Swiss, 25 for South Africa. And one thing that was very hard for the South African men was to train together. Well, they have been training once every 6 weeks, which might sound not a lot or a lot depending on your frame of reference. Because the Swiss, they could train 4 tournaments together and 4 more weekends. But Swiss, as you know, is in comparison a very small country in scale comparison to South Africa. Because some of the players had a distance of 1,000 kilometers between them, which is a very, very long distance if you think that about that in comparison for Swiss. So you actually see that the South African men will grow in this tournament very fast. Because playing together is one of the more better ways to ensure that you know how the other play. Well, we see another goal being scored by the Swiss men. And again it was Stern, but not after a lot of ball possession for all the players. So it was really nice to see all those passes eventually gaining them the goal. And an offensive foul made this time, And the Swiss will go for another fast break. It looks like this will be another goal as well. But a little bit. Oh, there was actually a foul made. Oh, this means a penalty. And number 3 from South Africa is actually penalized with a green card. So he has to leave the pitch for 2 minutes for a power play. But a power play means that if the number 3 from Swiss can actually pass the ball, the pedal from Marks, number 8 from South Africa, then now South Africa men are again allowed with 5 players on the pitch. Almost ready, set. You have to be on specific lines. So the shooter has to be on 4.5 meters away from the goal, and the goalie has to stay completely under his goal, which is sometimes a bit annoying for the goalie, because some goalies are actually preferring to lay in front of their own goal to try to ensure that the target is as small as possible for the opponents. But at a penalty you have to be directly with your body under the goal. So you can see that now that number 2 player, the goalie from Swiss, is actually, he was just half a meter in front of the goal, and that is just a different position. There was another fast break option, but a faraway shot from number 2 is sadly missed if you are for the Swiss this time. I think one of the, it's very hard in the case of the South African men right now, because so far, nice advantage. There's been a number given between the refs. That player has a warning against them. Well, we see the last 10 seconds for the Swiss. Can they try and shoot again from afar? Being blocked by the defense. Nicely done by South African men. So we've been playing 10 minutes. Now we have a rest period of about 3 minutes, in which the players will go towards the coaches. And you will see the colorful coach of the South African men just passing through the screen now. Really appreciate it. Also, the refs are talking to each other because the warning was not understood on the left side. They have to both signal the numbers now to each other, which is a new information that have been given. So this time they also talk about on what they both seen. And the players will receive some desperate needed water as well. And all that is happening in under 3 minutes, because in about 2 minutes time now we will continue with the match. Thank you to our sponsors, Yukon Sport, global sponsor, Chinese Canoe Association, the city of Deqing, and the ICF. It's go time for the second half of this very exciting match so far. The Swiss will have received the plan to just continue the way they do. And I think for the South African men, we're very interested to see if they play it a bit safer along with the passes. Well, we see the first ball possession go to the Swiss. Both the number 3 players, Bugler and Stern, were battling against each other. And Butcher actually received a warning for that foul. So he is a bit on sharp. So the next fault he makes will be penalized with a green card. Nice quick passes with a very strong South African defense at the moment. Number 1 from Swiss Hook is breaching the defense. South African men are now using a 1-2-2 defense, so 1 goalie and then 2 players and then 2 players. There we see a bit of wiggle room for the number 7 player from Swiss, Huzhou, finding a goal for his own. You might see the black and yellow line. It's very small, but a bit on the right side of your pitch on your screen. That is the 6 meter mark. Just on the Juppen Sports. You are only allowed to try and capture your opponent with just cancelling their pace, more or less, in that area. Outside of it, you are not allowed to do that. Before this match or before this tournament, I actually received a lot of information about the South African men, which is greatly appreciated by me. Because now I can tell you that there are actually 4 players. Number 3, Butcher. Number 5, Hoots. Number 7, Hardy. And number 9, Truby, all played in the men's under 21 the last time. But they still have an average age of 25, which means they really have a nice mix. Sorry about that. Between experienced and young. And also number 4, Burger, and number 8, Marks, are new in the team. So it's a very new mixture and a new team, which is very cool. And on the other side, we actually have a newbie with us as well. Number 5, Radak. But the strange thing is that he is the oldest, or so they said in their answers. Well, we see the South African men again trying to breach the Swiss defense, but again with a bit of a faulty pass. This is a fast break option that has been very effective for the Swiss so far. And yet again, this time Vogeli finds the back of the net. A bit of a trick shot. offensive foul being made. Every player here has a spray deck, otherwise you will sink. Well, we see a faraway shot to the right, was just over the goal. Timeout's been given because there are 2 balls on the pitch. That's not very a good idea. But I was saying, all the players supporting here are pedaling with a spray deck. And one of the rules is that you're not allowed to actually pedal over a player over his spray deck. So if you pedal over the front or back of his boat, that's fine. I mean, come on, it's Canoe Polo. But a spray deck, yeah, that's a bit too close to the body. And you're also completely in someone's face. So far the South African men have been struggling a bit with the Swiss defense. But things like this is really why the score is so big. Because other than this, the Swiss have not made a single goal. But yeah, these ones count just as hard by Huzhou, number 7 from Swiss. So I would advise them, the South African men, to focus on their passes when they're on their own offense. And I know that this is very easily said from my position, but that's something that I just see happening and happening. Because of their own faulty passes, the Swiss can actually do a lot of fast breaks. And they, for example, now they are with, at that moment there were 3 players of South Africa inside the defense of the Swiss. Now they are again with 2, but you have to be very sharp on your passes. Watch out for 5 seconds. Oh, nicely saved by the Swiss goalie. But this means another fast break opportunity for the Swiss. Oh, nicely intercepted by number 2 from Africa, Mr. Brie. And that means the first goal for South Africa. Nicely done, Ruby. Well, they see another picture. Sorry, there's a struggling in front of my pitch. So it has been shouting on top of the pitch in front of us for the field. Sorry for the intrusion of that part. Because we are watching a nice match of Canoe Polo here, so that should be the main focus here. And another goal from the Swiss. This time it's actually while the South African men were defending. So that's one of the first goals they've made like this. You see that they count just as much, 1. But I think South Africa would have stood way more of a chance than the score is showing now. But those kind of things, yeah, and then you receive a lot of pressure from the Swiss man. Actually make a foul of your own, and yeah, then you again lose the ball. So yeah, it's, in my opinion, it is so sad because there's so much more possible. And well, I'm more of a neutral supporter at the moment, so I just want to see some very exciting games. But I can perfectly understand you if you're for Swiss and you're thinking, just shut up, because we are winning. But yeah, I want to see fun matches, and I think it would have been a lot closer if the passes were just a bit better. I enjoyed it. Nice passes to the middle, but this time deflected by the South African defense. Can they make a fast break in the last 15 seconds of this match? But the goalie from Swiss, Huzhou, is already under his goal. And it's a corner, but those last few seconds will be very quickly over. If I'm not